In many aspects, the Huawei P50 Pocket is equal to Samsung's Galaxy Z Flip 3. The Huawei smartphone even surprises in one area. It has exceptional build quality for a foldable. However, the phone has issues with heat management and battery run times. We will cover the positive and negative aspects of the Huawei P50 Pocket in this video review. The light 190-gram P50 Pocket, roughly 6.7 ounces, shows high-quality workmanship. At about 15 millimeters, or 0.6 inches when folded, it looks significantly thicker than a classic candy bar-style smartphone, but it still manages to be comfortably compact thanks to its 87 by 76 millimeter, or 3.4 by 3 inch footprint. In contrast to the Galaxy Z Flip 3, the P50 Pocket doesn't have a noticeable gap between the two halves of the display when it's closed. However, it lacks the IPX8 rating of the Flip 3. We evaluated the location accuracy of our P50 Pocket review unit in a practical test, where we record a route in tandem with a Garmin Video 2. The deviations recorded by the P50 Pocket are relatively small, but the phone marks some noticeable inaccuracies along the route. In our WLAN test, which uses our Asus ROG Rapture GT AXE 11000 reference router, the phone impresses with high speeds. The P50 Pocket averages about 824 megabit per second when transmitting data and 766 megabit per second when receiving. Although the P50 Pocket is a foldable and thus focuses more on the hinge design, we really liked the pictures taken with the 40 megapixel True Chroma main camera. Sharpness and dynamics are very good. The same also goes for the 13 megapixel ultra-wide-angle camera, which is able to produce a lot of detail. The 11 megapixel selfie camera can't quite keep up with the rear-facing shooters, but takes relatively good pictures. Thanks to the foldable form factor, you can take selfies with the main camera using the small external display. The foldable 6.9-inch OLED panel of the P50 Pocket has an aspect ratio of 21:9, an adaptive refresh rate of 120 Hz, and a resolution of 2790 by 1188. This results in a high pixel density of over 400 ppi. The display gets very bright, peaking at about 780 nits. This is similar to the Galaxy Z Flip 3, though Samsung's foldable hits just under 850 nits at its maximum. Colors are accurate, and the color temperature is nearly perfect at 6,483 Kelvin. As with all OLEDs, the panel of the P50 Pocket flickers due to pulse width modulation. While the display uses a fairly constant PWM at dimmer levels, variance in the amplitude increases as the screen gets brighter. PWM averages at 119.6 Hz, which matches the refresh rate. Those sensitive to PWM will notice it here. Daylight doesn't pose much of a threat to the P50 Pocket, though direct sunlight hampers readability a bit due to some annoying reflections. Viewing angles are excellent. In everyday use, the Huawei P50 Pocket runs smoothly and without any noticeable hiccups. Overall system performance is excellent, and applications load very quickly. The reason for this lies in the Snapdragon 888 4G beating at the phone's heart. The SoC integrates a fast primary core based on the ARM Cortex-X1 architecture, 3 zippy Cortex-A78 performance cores, and 4 low-powered Cortex-A55 cores. However, we noticed some severe thermal throttling. In performance mode, the case of the P50 Pocket heats up under load, leading to a drastic reduction in performance. Even in normal mode, we measured throttling of almost 50%. This puts the P50 Pocket behind other Snapdragon 888 powered smartphones. The P50 Pocket managed only 8 hours in our Wi-Fi web surfing test, which is below average. The Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 3, in comparison, managed roughly 9 hours in the same test, despite its battery being 17.5% smaller. We should note that EMUI, the skin Huawei slaps on top of Android, always terminates our battery test early by forcing the phone into standby when the battery hits 10%. In reality, the phone lasted 7 hours and 18 minutes in our test, so the extrapolated 8 hours might be unattainable. The 4,000 mAh battery supports fast charging at up to 40 watts. It can recharge from 10 to 100% in roughly an hour. The P50 Pocket surprised us during our review. Positive notes include the excellent quality of the back cameras and the dense 4000 mAh battery Huawei managed to fit in the phone's slim shell. However, the P50 Pocket's poor heat management and ultimately lackluster battery life are major drawbacks. Considering the hampered performance due to thermal throttling, the P50 Pocket leaves room for improvement. We must make one final note. Due to ongoing sanctions from the United States, the Huawei P50 Pocket is currently unable to utilize Google services and cannot connect to 5G networks. At its retail price of €1,200 or about $1,310, the P50 Pocket is a tough sell, particularly when compared to the 5G capable Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 3, which currently sells for €650 or about $710. If you want to learn more about the Huawei P50 Pocket, check out our detailed review over at notebookcheck.net. If this video review was helpful, let us know by leaving a like. Be sure to subscribe and ring the notification bell so you don't miss any future video reviews. Thanks for watching.